Hey, thank you very much, Steve Allen, and thank you to all of our sponsors to make this broadcast possible here for this evening. Kyle Dean, joined by Joe Jacobs for tonight on this windy day. And Joe, it actually rained pretty decently here before we got here, from what I've been told.
Yeah, we heard it was pouring at earlier this afternoon. It looks like the major rain has kind of subsided, but we see a little mist on our windows here.
Yeah, and it looks like the field where they're practicing got a little muddy already, too. So it looks like the field's going to be tore up tonight since it rained pretty decently here this afternoon, Joe. And another thing is wind. It's pretty windy out there today.
Very, very windy. The trees are really whipping here.
Oh, yes. On the way here, it was pouring, and then all of a sudden it was just super windy. We went from Dawson down to Napoleon. It was just... that van was moving pretty good. That was for sure. Well, tonight's action, it's a Region 3 matchup, and playoffs are getting closer and closer. Tonight, it's Napoleon-GS with their 4-1 overall record. They're 3-1 in the region, taking on the South Border Mustangs. They have the same record, 4-1 overall, 3-1 in the region. It should be a good matchup. And Joe, this game decides between a home game in the playoffs or it could be a away game in the playoffs. Plus, these games could mean if you're in the playoffs or not at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. Not only just getting to the playoffs, but it could be maybe home field advantage. You're right.
Yes, and anything can happen here. We still have a lot of season, and actually the next 3 weeks or so, things are really going to start clearing up for the playoff picture. Right now, everybody's wide open for that 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed in Region 3. Should be a good game here tonight since both teams are trying to get that first round bye and that home game here for Region 3 and playoffs in mid-October. Well, let's start things off for some coaches' interviews. Actually, I sat down with head coach Gus Schlepp for the South Border Mustangs as we talked about his upcoming season for the remaining of the season, I should say, and his stout defense that he has had this season for the interview. Joining me today is Gus Schlepp, head coach for the South Border Mustangs. Coach, once again, thank you for joining me here for today.
No problem.
Well, we're halfway done with the regular season, and you're sitting at a 4-1 record with your only loss coming to Linton H&B. What do you think your team has done well this season, and what does it need to improve on to make that playoff push?
Definitely improved on just being physical. Compared to last year to this year, our kids have matured and know that they have to play hard every single play and just have the right mindset going into the games that they can play with anybody. We're still a very young team. Right now we only have 2 healthy seniors on the roster, so a lot of underclassmen playing big minutes for us, but they're coming up pretty huge in a lot of moments. Make the playoff push, I mean, we need to be ready to play every game. We got 3 playoff contenders coming up in 3 straight weeks, so schedule is not get any easier for us, so just got to be ready to play every single week.
And your next game is versus Napoleon-GS, who had a 34-6 win versus Strasburg-Zeeland last week. What's your game plan for this upcoming game? And actually, the Imperials have turned over the ball quite a bit this season.
We just need to be defensively sound, just no hesitation, and go hard to the ball. And every play kind of has been how we've been going about it this year. Just scoring-wise, our defense has been pretty stout this year. I think we're only around 60 points we've given up in 5 games, so just need to know that we have to play physical, take them on, head on, and hope for the best. They're going to be ready to come out against us after last year's game, so just got to be prepared.
What players are you leaning on for the upcoming game, and what matchups do you expect to see on Friday night?
We'll be leaning on our sort of quarterback, running back, David Jokum. Main ball carrier after we lost our other one, Cole Kettling, this last week to a broken leg. So we'll be testing the waters with a few new people running the ball, and hopefully they can step up. And they've been in plenty of games, they just don't quite have the experience. I know we got to stop Napoleon's rushing attack. They kind of switched offenses going into the year, and they used to spread it out, and now they're more of a keep it on the ground, try and use their speeder on the outside to get after you. So we just need to stop that, and should be a good game for us.
And now, Joe, as he was talking about that interview, out of the region, their number 1 defense in the region, only averaging 12.8 points per game. So their defense is very stout this season. And the last meeting, like he was talking about, South Border defeated Napoleon-GS last year in Ashley, 28-6. So they're more evenly matched up, you could say, but it's going to be between a high-power rushing offense versus a stout defense tonight.
Yeah, very, very agreed with that. Yep.
And their upcoming schedule, like he was talking about, they play Kidder County next week. That's a possible playoff berth team. They play Shiloh Christian for the last week, which is number 1 in the region right now. So their schedule is pretty tough starting tonight.
Yep. The advantage that hopefully they'll have against Shiloh is that we talked about this, that they are playing that game in Ashley. So it'll be a home game for them, but against a very tough Shiloh Christian this year.
And if if South Border wins their next 3 games, including that Shiloh game, they will be the number 1 seed. I mean, They have a high chance, even with that 1 loss to Linton, they can still rock it out and get that number 1 seed yet. Any of the top 5 teams could either get that 1 seed yet. So, Joe, it's going to be a fun game tonight because it starts pretty much tonight, the playoff push around Region 3 tonight.
Yep.
Well, when we come back, we'll start breaking down the Napoleon-GS Streeter Imperials. They're at home tonight for their homecoming here on this windy and soggy Friday night. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. KSJB. We're back broadcasting live at Napoleon, North Dakota for this Region 3 matchup. Kyle Dean, Joe Jacobs here for tonight. We are online at KSJBAM.com. Joe, we've been talking about this matchup tonight, start of the playoff push, and Napoleon, they have a 3-headed monster, you like to call it, for rushing attack tonight.
Yeah, that they do, Kyle.
Yeah, so once again, it should be a fun time to watch tonight's game. Let's start things off. Actually, I talked to head coach Kelly McCleary earlier about tonight's matchup between the South Border Mustangs. Joining me today is Kelly McCleary, head coach for the Napoleon-GS Streeter Imperials. Coach, once again, thank you for joining me here for today.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Well, last week, your team had a 34-6 win over Strasburg-Zeeland, and you had quite a few turnovers in that game. What does your team need to improve on for the latter half of this season to make the playoff push coming up here soon?
Yeah, I think that's something we've been struggling with for a couple weeks now. We can't seem to hold on to the football all the time, and we're letting it hit the ground too much, so that's definitely one thing we're trying to improve on, and just gelling as a team and getting our offense clicking a little better. Your next game versus South Border, coming in with only a 1 loss, who they won last week versus Center Staten 30-2, but their only loss came from Linton HMB. What do you expect to see from the Mustangs on Friday then? They played real good defense. They've I think the most points they've given up all year is 14, so it'll be a tough test for us, and we're excited for the challenge.
What do you think of their offense? Because it's quite different this year, actually.
Yeah, it's an offense you don't see a whole lot. Definitely takes a little preparation and kind of got some keys for them, but definitely something that I don't think I've ever coached against or our players have never seen, so it'll be a little different.
So what do you anticipate to be the biggest challenge for the game on Friday night then?
Just staying disciplined and reading your keys, and I think we're used to just seeing where the running back's going, but they really don't have a true running back. They got more of 2 quarterbacks in the back, so it'll be a little different that way.
And, Joe, it's kind of fun to watch the offense for South Border, like he said. It is a different offense for 9 men. It's almost like you said, 2 running backs or maybe even 3 running backs that are in the wildcat formation, and anybody can take the snap and throw it, it sounds like, for the Mustang offense.
Yeah, and from what we saw before, what we did their game in Wishick here a few weeks back against Strasburg-Zeeland, but you got to really watch. They're pretty sneaky with some of that. You don't know who's getting the ball, and that's where the defense really has to pay attention very close, because you got 2 guys that, if you go after the wrong guy, the other one's gone, you know.
Yes, and this is going to be an interesting matchup because you got a high-powered offense versus a stout defense, but there's going to be a lot of running here tonight, I have a feeling, just because it is windy out there. The ground is pretty moist. It's already starting to tear up from the practices from the cleats here before the game starts. So tonight's matchup, once again, it's between Napoleon-GS Streeter Imperials for their homecoming. They have a 4-1 overall record, 3-1 in the region. Taking on South Border, same record, 4-1 overall, 3-1 in the region. And looking at the region, Joe, Shiloh Christian leading the way, undefeated. Napoleon's currently at number 2. Linton H&B's at number 3. Even though they lost to Shiloh, they still have the tiebreaker over South Border, which is number 4 right now. Kidder County is right on the cusp of trying to make the playoffs at number 5. Central McLean is 2-3 overall, and Center Stan and Strasburg-Zeeland still looking for their first win. So it's been a tough region once again. Even though this region lost a lot of big stars, it's been pretty rough due to injuries and just losing a few seniors from last season, Joe.
Yeah, you can pretty much look at every team has got at least one, if not two, of their big horses that are sitting on the sidelines because of injuries.
And it was early in the season, so hopefully everything's good, and hopefully they can play for the upcoming season here for basketball and stuff like that. Moving on to Napoleon-GS, they're at Linton H&B next week, which we are doing that game next week in Linton, and they're also at Kidder County for their last regular season game. Another game that we're doing. It's just how the schedule worked out since we tried to split up all the teams for live broadcast for Region 3 here on KSJB. And it worked out pretty well, I would have to say, so far this season, Joe.
Yeah, it's been a fun season, and we have really done a lot of traveling, haven't we, Kyle?
Yes, it's been a lot of traveling back to Linton for next week. But right now, other matchups going on in Region 3. Shiloh Christian's at Central McLean tonight. South Borders at, of course, Napoleon-GS. But Strasburg-Zeeland's taking on Linton H&B in Linton. And then Kidder County is at Center Staten for tonight. Now, some of the seniors that Napoleon-GS lost last year, and we'll take a look at South Borders here soon. John Grunfelder, they lost him. Jaden Jangula, Alec Mann, and Tyler Mosier. That's what Napoleon lost for seniors last season. South Border, what did they lose there, Joe?
They lost their big guy, Hunter Pinky, and they lost three other seniors. They lost Jacob Diley, Noah Frailing, and Matt Reed, their quarterback from last year.
And Hunter Pinky, of course, playing Division I football at UND for this season. Now, the polls have been quite interesting, and the top dog has been Thompson, which there still are. Number 1, Thompson. Number 2 is Shiloh Christian. Number 3 is Cavalier. 4 is North Prairie. Number 5 is New Salem, Glen Ullin. Others receiving votes, Hankinson, Richland, and Mulhall, Lansford, Sherwood. So quite a few matchups going on for the top teams here tonight. Joe, when we come back and everybody else, we'll look at the starting lineups here for tonight's game for homecoming for the Imperials in Napoleon versus the South Border Mustangs on KSJB and KSJBAM.com. Kyle Dayton, Joe Jacobs broadcasting live from Napoleon, North Dakota on this misty day today, and the wind's still blowing out there, Joe, and it should be a fun game tonight, and thank you for everybody that's listening in their cars. I have a feeling there's quite a few of them here tonight, Joe.
I would sure think so.
Yeah, if they're listening, maybe they should give a honk, right? No.
Yeah, go ahead, everybody.
See what happens. All right, so once again, we're having a fun time here for tonight in Napoleon. Let's start with some starting lineups. We're going to head off and start with the South Border Mustangs. They're going to be the away team on the board. They're wearing black pants, black helmets with a Mustang, and white jerseys with a royal blue numbering and trim. Starting offense, starting at a running back. We're number 4, a junior, 170 pounds at 6 foot. It's Blaine Gross. We're number 12, a tight end, a sophomore, 180 pounds at 6 foot. Clark Thielgist. We're number 28, a running back, sophomore at 160 pounds at 5'9", David Jokum. Next up, we're number 34, a running back, a senior at 145 pounds at 5'1", Jared Caseman. We're number 50, a guard, sophomore, 215 pounds at 6'1", Riley Moulter. Number 56, he's a fullback, freshman, 210 pounds at 6 foot, Peyton Hullum. We're number 57, starting center, sophomore, 200 pounds at 6 foot. It's Martine Diarcos. And we're number 75, a guard, junior, 265 pounds at 6'5". It's Alex Ruff. And number 77, a guard, senior at 210 pounds at 5'10", Tyler Kuntz for the South Border Mustangs. Head coach Gus Slepp, assisted by Josh Wiest, Willis Caldwell, and Chuck Bradner. School colors, royal blue, black, and white for the South Border Mustangs.
All right, now we jump over to the home team on the board here, right here in Napoleon, the Napoleon-GS Imperials. Starters offense here, a 5'9", 150-pound sophomore, a running back here tonight, number 1, Nathan Weigel. The quarterback, a 6'2", 180-pound senior, number 12, Dalton Jangula. A wide receiver, a 6'1", 170-pound sophomore, number 15, Jamison Fettig. And a running back, a 5'9", 155-pound junior, number 18, Jacob Bitts. And a running back tonight, a 5'10", 170-pound senior, wearing number 32, is Jake Bakken. And a guard filling in for the injured Luke Holberg here tonight, a 6 foot, 200-pound sophomore, number 44. That is Tyler Long. And a tight end here tonight, a 6'2", 190-pound senior, number 51, Bryce Fettig. And the center tonight, a 6'1", 180-pound junior, number 54, Pacey Feist. And the other guard here tonight on the offensive line, a 6'3", 215-pound senior, number 56. That is Devin Weigel. Head coach for the Napoleon-GS Streeter Imperials is Kelly McCleary, and assistant by Joe Sitchie. And school colors, royal blue, white, and gold.
All right, so for tonight, rainy, windy, just kind of that day tonight. Looking at their schedules that they've already played, starting with the South Border Mustangs, they won 26-20 versus Sargent Central. They then won 32-8 versus Strasburg-Zeeland, lost 14-12 at Linton HMB. They won 22-20 at Central McLean in a close game, and they won 30-2 versus Stanton last week. Joe, what you got for Napoleon for their win-loss record? Who did they play and all that?
Let's see. Right here I've got for them, they won against Kenmare 38-34. They won against Central McLean 40-20. They lost only to Shiloh Christian. That was 28-12, and that was in Shiloh. Mm-hmm. And then they beat Center Stanton 42-14, and they also won against Strasburg-Zeeland 34-6.
Yeah, so once again, lots of good games coming up here for the remainder of the weeks. Only 3 regular season games left in 9-man, counting this week. After this week, there will only be 2 left. Playoffs will start that, I believe, second weekend in October 16th, I believe it is when they start, because the last game is October 7th. So, yeah, it'll be October 15th, I believe, is when the playoffs start on that Saturday.
Yeah, that's Saturday.
Somewhere around there or something. Lots of Class A action going on. Of course, the big one that's in our region, Ellendale Edgeley Cullum, is at Oak Grove, and they both have a 3-1 record. And that's going to be a big matchup tonight in Fargo there, Joe. And, you live in that region, and lots of talk for that EEK team going on.
That's going to be a huge game for them, because not only it's really – they're at the point now where they're going to be looking at where they're going to be seated for the playoffs, as well as if they can make the playoffs. These are some very big games coming up for that EEK team.
Yes, it gets fun at this time of the season when the weather changes to a little bit cooler and the playoff push starts here around this weekend. We're still a few moments away from kickoff. Hey, we stream online at KSJBAM.com. You can download our free app for your phone or tablet. You just need to search KSJB on the Google Play or the Apple App Store. That's simple. Bring us on the go. KSJBAM.com. Let's take a quick, let's do a 3-minute break. And when we come back in 3 minutes, we'll continue the pregame show, and we'll have kickoff coming up in less than 10 minutes here on KSJB. We're here in Napoleon, North Dakota for tonight's matchup. It's the Imperials homecoming game taking on the South Border Mustangs. Myself, Joe Jacobs, getting ready to call the game. They're doing the starting lineups. And, Joe, weather's probably going to play a factor here tonight.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of strong winds, a little misty, not too bad. But we're seeing already, just as the teams are warming up, we're seeing some black appearing out in the field from some cleats. So you know that field's going to get a little tore up, especially in a couple little lower spots, especially looks like on the south end, Kyle.
And the only thing that we're hoping for, no lightning. No, hopefully not to have, I guess to say, is no lightning, as looks like it's just going to be a kind of a rainy, cool, and windy day. National Anthem is coming up. When we come back after the National Anthem, we have kickoff right here on KSJB and KSJBAM.com. We're back at Imperial Field for tonight's matchup in Napoleon. Napoleon-GS Streeter with their 4-1 record, taking on the South Border Mustangs with their 4-1 record. And, Joe, we just had the National Anthem, and they had to hold those flags outside in the middle of the field, didn't they?
Yeah, there's 2 people on each flag hanging on to them. They were whipping pretty good out there, and we had the window open here in the press box just a little bit as the girls sang the National Anthem here. Did a real good job with that, but wow, that wind is just humming out there.
Yeah, I'm not going to see much of throwing, I don't think, here tonight. I think it's going to be run, and it's going to be a fun game tonight, definitely with the weather the factor tonight.
Yeah, both teams are going to have to bump up their running game a little bit here.
Just a tad, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, from what I can see, it looks like Napoleon-GS Streeter is going to be kicking off, and South Border Mustangs are going to be receiving the kick. Let's start things off for this first possession. And returning from what I could tell for the Mustangs, there's just going to be a kickoff, a low one, quick here to start things, and it's going to be picked up about the 20-yard line and rolling inside, and looks like it's going to be stopped around the 25-yard line to start things off for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that was going to be Jared Caseman that picked that up. It was a low kick just on the ground, rolled all the way down to about the 18-yard line or so, where Caseman picked that up for the Mustangs and got to return it right up to about the 25-yard line is where the Mustangs will start their drive here, working from right to left on the radio dial.
Gus Schlepp, the head coach for the Mustangs, in his second year as coaching for South Border. And here we go with the player in motion to start things off, and they're going to start running it for the Mustangs. That's Blake Sogi, and he's going to gain maybe 1 yard on that.
Yeah, just running to his right. Took the snap there, Blake Sogi, running to his right to the far side of the field. Didn't get a whole lot there as Devin Weigel swallowed him up there right about that line of scrimmage, but maybe just a couple yard gain on the play.
And once again, we usually have a microphone outside, but it's too windy because if we had a microphone outside, you would just hear wind, right, Joe?
Yeah, it would be all static.
Yeah, you wouldn't even hear us if it's so windy. All right, so once again, puts a player in motion, that shotgun formation, and this time they're running it with a different Mustang. That's going to be David Jokum, and it's going to be no gain from what I can see on the left-hand carry.
Yeah, just a snap coming off to his left and then running to the near side of the field. And again, Devin Weigel with a little help from Jamison Feddick swallow him up and puts the ball right at about the line of scrimmage like Kyle said. So it'll be 3rd and 8 here. Ball on about the 28-yard line. South Border with it in their own territory.
Mustangs going right to left on your radio dial. The wind is coming right from the side, straight in front of us, you'd have to say. There's a nice, beautiful field right in front of us where the wind's coming from. Shotgun, direct snap, and running up is Jokum, but he is not going to go anywhere. Maybe gain 1 yard on that carry by Jokum.
Yeah, just a snap and then trying to get right up the middle with that, Jokum with it, and just not much happening there. Bryce Feddick and Devin Weigel on that defensive line for the Imperials just swallow him up before they could really get anything there, but maybe gained about 1 yard, so it'll be 4th and 7 here for the Mustangs.
All right, so the Mustangs elect to punt. It's going to be a side pump probably, and that wind didn't carry it too much. It's going to take a bounce around the 30, keep bouncing around the 25, and stop about the 22-yard line for the Napoleons to start things off for their first offensive possession. 9:41 remaining, first quarter.
Yeah, it was Blaine Gross that was the ball stopper, touched the ball right about the 22-yard line. So the Imperials now working left to right. They'll start their first drive as they're back in their own territory here with 9:41 to go here in the first quarter. Just getting underway and no score. So far the Mustangs had their first drive of the game.
Here we go for the Imperials as underneath center, handoff. They'll start things off on the carry to the right side. That's going to be Jake Bakken, and he's going to gain maybe about 5 yards to start things off, Jake Bakken.
Yeah, Bakken took the handoff running out to his right toward the near side of the field, then cutting up the middle before he's tackled there by Darren Van Gorkum for the Mustangs.
Here we go, Imperials lining up at the line of scrimmage, 9:17 remaining, first quarter, 0-0, Region 3 matchup in 9-man football. Underneath center is Dalton Jangula, one back in the backfield, puts a player in motion, hand off to the back in the backfield, and I believe that carry was by Nathan Weigel.
Yes, that was Nathan Weigel getting the handoff, just running it right up the middle, punches his way up for a gain of a few yards there. Riley Moulter on the stop for the South Border Mustangs.
First down now for the Imperials as he gained 5 yards was Weigel. Coach Kelly McCleary in his ninth season for the Napoleon-GS Streeter Imperials. First and 10, about the 33, 34-yard line in Imperial territory. Jangula is going to be underneath center, one back in the backfield. Player in motion, and he's going to do a quarterback keeper for Jangula onto the left side, and nowhere to go. Second down and 10.
Yeah, he ran that ball to his left and just trying to run down the line of scrimmage and cut forward, but nothing happening there. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Imperials as he was tripped up running toward that far side of the field.
Imperials lining up at the line of scrimmage. Jangula is going to be underneath center. Once again, kind of a one-back situation, puts the tight end in motion, handoff to Weigel, breaks free, runs over a defender, and a good, almost a 15-yard scamper. They're making first down near midfield for Weigel.
Yeah, Weigel took the snap right up the middle. He ran, broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and crosses up across the 45 to, I believe we'll see where they place that ball, about the 47-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and 10. Tackle made there by Blaine Gross for the Mustangs.
Here we go at midfield, 0-0 first quarter. Underneath center is Jangula. Once again, kind of that squished backfield, and there's a quick wide receiver, and it's caught, and he's trying to run away is Jamison Fettig, and he's finally brought down inside the south border 30-yard line. That's roughly a 25-yard reception, a passing situation.
Kind of an off-guard, caught the defense sleeping there a little bit, just to the rollout to the right, Fettig, and he's able to catch that ball and quickly move it up ahead. Blaine Gross making the stop for the Mustangs.
All right, so here we go. 1st and 10 inside the Mustang 20-yard line. Jangula underneath center. Weigel's in the backfield. They're going to hand it off this time to the far side to Jacob Bitts. Bitts has some running room on the side, and he's going to gain 8 yards on that scamper. 2nd down.
Yeah, first carry for Bitts there. Rolling out to his left, going to the far side, running toward that corner, trying to get into that end zone, but he is stopped by David Jokum, but not before he gets up to about the 10-yard line.
7 minutes remaining, first quarter, 0-0. Imperials are in the red zone, threatening the score on a 2nd and roughly 2. Underneath center is Jangula, going left to right on your radio dial. Player in motion is Bitts, going to hand off to Weigel right through the middle. He's met by some Mustangs, but that's going to be close to a 1st down. We'll see what the refs say here. Nope, they're going to say 3rd down and short, so 1-yard gain by Weigel.
Yeah, Weigel trying to do a little spin move, power his way through, but Darren Van Gorkum and Blaine Gross team up to make the stop for the South Border Mustangs.
Here we go on a 3rd and short. Inside the 10. Snap. Sweep, left side, quarterback keeper, and a spin move by Jangula, and he's going to get that 1st down with a couple spin moves. Gain of 2.
Yeah, nice spin move working his way in there. Darren Van Gorkum on the tackle along with David Jokum. They make that stop, but a nice little gain there for the 1st down with that quarterback keeper there by Jangula.
6:14 remaining, first quarter, 0-0. 1st and goal for the Imperials here in Napoleon for their homecoming night. Underneath center, Jangula. Weigel's underneath for the running back. Handoff to Bitts to the right side. Bitts, I believe that was Bitts. Nope, excuse me, that was Bakken on that one. And he's going to probably lose 3 yards on that one is Bakken.
Yeah, Bakken running from left to right in motion and then coming toward the near side of the field and not even able to turn the corner there. He's tackled there by Blaine Gross. I think he slipped up a little bit as well there on probably the wet ground. 2nd
and goal from the 10-yard line. Weigel underneath center, near side hash mark. Weigel underneath center, player in motion, and they're going to hand off to Weigel. We got flag on the play before the play was going to be snapped.
Yeah, we'll have to see what this is, if it was a false start or what they call this one.
False start on the offense. That's the Imperials. It's going to be 2nd and goal and a long way to go here for this matchup. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, that moves the ball back to about the 15-yard line.
Here we go. Jangula underneath center. Once again, near hash mark on the field. Dropping back for a pass, rolls out to the left. He's still looking on the far side, rolling out left, throws it up to the end zone, and the wind kind of took that one, and it was intended for, it looks like Fettig on the backside.
Yeah, that was intended for Fettig. It was Blake Sogi on the coverage there for the Mustangs, but yeah, that ball really not catchable, as it just kind of looked like it hung up in the air and just kind of moved its way off to the side. So an incomplete pass there for the Imperials.
3rd and goal from the 15. 5 minutes remaining in your first quarter. And here we go for the Imperials. Jangula underneath center. In the backfield, we have Weigel and Bakken, and the fumble on the ground and picked up by the Mustangs easily. And, Joe, that's what they've had trouble with all season is the fumbles.
Yeah, that's the biggest killer in any contest, of course. But, yeah, that ball looked like not sure exactly what the deal was there. Jangula had the ball, looked like for a split second. That ball just got popped out. Not sure if he got hit or what the deal was there, but it was Martin Diarcos that picked that ball up for the Mustangs.
Looks like the Mustangs will be starting at their own 16-yard line with a good defensive effort. Once again, they are the number 1 defense in Region 3. Mustangs now on offense. Shotgun, and they're going to run it right through the middle and runs into a pile of Imperials after a 5-yard gain. 2nd down.
Yeah, I believe that's David Jokum. Yep, it's Jokum that tried to run that ball right up the middle there. And it was going to be Devin Weigel on the stop for the Imperials. That moves the ball up to about the 22-yard line, so gain of about 5 or 6 yards there.
2nd and about 5, just across their own 20-yard line for the Mustangs. It's going to be shotgun formation once again. 2 running backs or quarterbacks, kind of just either one will take the snap, and it's going to be a direct snap once again to David Jokum. And only about a yard gain to make it 3rd down and short.
Yeah, just trying to run it right up the middle, took the snap and kind of just ran right into a pile of Imperials that were on that line of scrimmage pretty much. But it'll bring up about 3rd and about a long 3 here.
4 minutes remaining in your first quarter. Mustangs control the ball. No score so far in this Region 3 matchup. A wet and rainy day tonight for the Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter homecoming game here in Napoleon. Here we go under, shotgun formation again for the Mustangs. 1 wide receiver to the right side. Direct snap once again to Jokum, and he's going to be close to that 1st down marker. And it might be 4th and inches. Yeah, they're going to say 4th and inches, but we might have the chain gang come out eventually.
Yeah, they might have to check that one. They're just, Jokum just running to his left and trying to pile up the middle, and Bryce Feddick caught him from the side pretty much, tackling him and making that stop. We'll see once what the official call is here.
Yep, they're going to say 4th and barely an inch or so, and we're going to see what Gus Schlepp and his Mustang crew is going to do. They are going for it on 4th down underneath center. I formation, and they're just going to do a quarterback sneak, and there goes the offensive line, and they get the 1st down, a good 3-yard gain by the quarterback, which one of the 3 quarterbacks, I guess you could say, for the Mustangs.
That's going to be David Jokum, it looks like, that carried that ball. A nice push there by that offensive line from South Border. Good job on that Mustangs' part to actually push their way to a well-needed 1st down, you could say. Conversion there.
And the Mustangs were deep in their own territory for that 1st down. 2:45 remaining. First quarter, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Shotgun formation for Jokum, and it looks like Blake Sogi in the backfield. It's going to go to Sogi on to the right side. He is trying to go on the far side, try to break free on the edge, and no gain on that one for Sogi.
Yeah, Sogi just took a deeper snap there, running to his right and run all the way to the far side of the field before he was trying to turn to go up the field, but nothing there. That's where he was stopped by about 3 of the Imperials.
2nd and 10 on their own 29-yard line for the Mustangs. 2:10 remaining. First quarter 0-0. Region 3 matchup. Kyle Dean, Joe Jacobs here. Shotgun formation once again for the 2 backs. Jokum, and I believe that's Sogi once again in the back. And it's going to be fumbled on the ground. Fight for it. And who's going to get this? It's the Imperials are saying they got the ball.
Yeah,
and they're going to say run the clock, so that means the Mustangs still have the ball, but it's going to be 3rd and 15 now after that 5-yard loss by Jokum.
Yeah, that snap just came out low, and basically the Mustangs just had to jump on that to pretty much save that from a turnover. It was really close there as that ball could have been easily turned over on that fumble there.
3rd and 15, 1:30 remaining. First quarter, 0-0. Mustangs control the ball after that loss, that fumble, you would say. Waiting here for the snap to see what they are going to do. One wide receiver to the left, one to the right, puts the player in motion on the far side, and they're going to drop back for the throw is Jokum. Jokum then rolls out to the right. He's looking downfield, throws a bullet, and over the head of the intended receiver. 4th and long coming up.
Yeah, coverage there by Fettig for the Imperials. That believe that was Hullum on the intended receiver there for the South Border Mustangs, but incomplete. Brings up 4th and about 14 here with just 1:09 to go here in the first quarter. Still no score.
Punt team is coming out now as the back to return it through the foggy windshield is Jamison Fettig. That one's going to kind of be pretty low and go out right at the 50. So the Imperials are starting at their own 50-yard line, or I guess everybody's 50-yard line.
Yeah, everybody's 50.
All right, so 1:04 remaining, first quarter. Still no score here in Napoleon. And you can tell the weather's playing a factor here tonight for both teams, Joe, and I don't think it's going to get any better with the weather.
Yeah, we've seen a couple turnovers here on each team, and, you know, it's probably from weather, and yep, this is going to be probably the whole game here, the way this weather is still hanging in here.
All right, so here we go underneath center. Jangula, he's going to drop back for a pass, does a screen pass, completes it there to Jake Bakken, and Bakken gains. Oh, it's going to be roughly 5 yards on that one to make it inside South Border territory, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, nice little short, quick rollout pass there to Bakken as he grabbed that in a hurry and turned around to run, where he was finally stopped there by Alex Roof and a couple other South Border Mustangs.
All right, so here we go for the Imperials lining up at the line of scrimmage. 33 seconds remaining, first quarter. Jangula's underneath center. Player in motion, Bitts. They're going to hand it off to Weigel, I believe, in the middle. And he's going to gain. It's going to be about 3-yard gain to make it 3rd and short.
Yeah, just a quick handoff right up the middle. Weigel running, trying to follow some blocking, but there wasn't a whole lot happening there except a lot of the South Border defense. Darren Van Gorkum, I believe the initial wrap up there, had to help with a couple others making the stop for the Mustangs.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter. 0-0. Imperials control the ball in South Border territory. Back in 1 minute, KSJB. End of one quarter. We're tied up at 0 apiece. Second quarter about to start. Switching sides on the fields. Imperials are now going right to left on your radio dial. They control the ball inside Mustang territory. Jangula dropping back for a pass. He's going deep with the win with Fettig, and it is caught by Fettig. What a beautiful catch there inside the 10.
About a 45-yard pass completion as they were right at midfield, and that was, he caught that and slid to the 5-yard line. Beautiful hang time, well read there by Jamison Fettig. As didn't look like he was going to catch up to it, but I think the wind held it up just enough. He was able to do a fantastic sliding, diving catch on that play.
He beats his man, too, on that. So here we go. Fettig's on the near side of the field. Underneath centers, Jangula. We're waiting here for the snap in the second quarter. 1st and goal. They are going to do a quarterback keeper, tosses it outside now to Weigel, trying to get to the edge, and didn't work there. He tried to go for a quarterback keep first, tossed it out, nothing, and they'll make it 2nd and goal.
Yeah, there's about 3 South Border Mustangs there that combined for the tackle. Darren Van Gorkum, Jared Caseman, and Blake Sogi all make the stop there, but a nice effort there by Jangula trying to run in, and he was tied up, so he did a little backflip into the hands of Nathan Weigel, catching it, but not able to gain a whole lot there, but about 3 or 4 yards.
All right, so here we go. Jangula is going to be underneath center. 10:56 remaining for 2nd and goal, They're going to hand it off to Bitts. Left side, walks right in. Jacob Bitts with a 6-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, Jacob Bitts took the handoff there, running. He was in motion from right to left, took that snap, running to his left, and he had plenty of room as he cut forward and runs it right in untouched. So putting up the first points for the board here is the Napoleon-GS Streeter Imperials 6 and the South Border Mustangs 0 right now. 10:49 to go here, just starting the second quarter, as the Imperials will go for their 2-point conversion.
So once again, 6-0. That was a 6-yard run by number 18 himself, Jacob Bitz. Jangula's underneath center. Player in motion, and we have a flag on the play after the snap. We'll see what the head referee says here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was.
Start.
A false start. That's what I was thinking it was, and I believe it's going to be on the Imperials.
Yeah, they're going to now move it back to make it a long 2-point conversion for the Imperials. They're up 6-0 right now at home for their homecoming game tonight between two 4-1 teams going at it.
Yeah, these two teams here, this, like we said earlier in our pregame, it's going to decide some seeding coming up here for the playoffs.
There's the snap. Jangula dropping back for a pass, going to Fedick on the corner of the end zone, and he had it, but it fell right out. 2-point conversion, no good. 6-0 second quarter. Napoleon-GS Streeter in the lead over South Border. Back in a minute, KSJB. 6-0, 10:49 remaining, second quarter. Imperials in the lead over the Mustangs. And that's going to be, it's going to be a muffed kickoff, and it's going to be picked up by the Mustangs. And going nowhere was Jared Caseman for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that was Jacob Bitz that was down the field in a hurry. Caseman picking that ball up and went nowhere in a hurry, like Kyle said there. But that ball just kind of low on the ground after live ball. And this ball is going to start. The Mustangs will start with it in their own territory, just like inside the 20-yard line, around the 18-yard line is where that ball is placed.
So Mustangs control the ball down 6-0 here in Napoleon. And here come the Mustangs. Down by one possession. Got two quarterbacks, you could say, in the backfield. Snap, direct snap. And trying to plow forward and breaking free. That's going to be Blaine Gross, and he's going to gain 11 yards on that carry.
Yeah, just a nice power move up the middle there, as even a spin move that picked him up a few extra yards. That's going to bring the ball across about the 25 to about the, see, they'll put that one about the 29-yard line is where they'll start.
So that'll make it 10:30 remaining. Second quarter, 6-0 Imperials. Here we go, waiting for the snap for the South Border Mustangs. They're going to drop back for a pass. It's Jokum. He's going to try to run forward now. Breaks free, but he's going to be hit hard by, that will look like Fedick. No, that's
Devin Weigel
all right.
On the stop there for the Imperials, as Jokum was looking to pass and nothing there, so he quick took off with it. But Devin Weigel doing a nice job reading that one, and makes the stop for no gain on that play.
That's a loss of 2, actually, to make it 2nd and 12. 9:53 remaining here in your second quarter. Kyle Dean, Joe Jacobs here. Mustangs are in their own territory for this Region 3 matchup. A misty and windy day tonight. Waiting here for the snap on a 2nd and long for the Mustangs. And they're going to show blitz, and there we go with the carry inside the middle. Didn't see who got the carry for the Mustangs to make it 3rd and long. It looks like that's Blake Sogi, and he's going to gain roughly 3 yards.
Yeah, about a 3-yard gain, just running it up the middle. He pretty much drugged the offensive and the defense with him there, but it's going to bring up about 3rd and 9 here for the South Border Mustangs. Ball on their own about 30-yard line is where they are with 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Mustangs trail 6-0.
Imperials defense has been well here on this wet weather. Offense not going so well for the Mustangs. Waiting for the snap, shotgun, and it's going to be a carry by Blaine Gross, and he can't go anywhere. That's going to be a 4-yard loss. Blaine Gross, they're going backwards, and they're going to have to punt it, it looks like, on a 4th and long.
That stop made by the Imperials' Bryce Fedick, and kind of in the backfield there for the loss. He was able to pick him up and actually kind of tackle him from behind, you could say. As now, like Kyle said, 4th and long here. So they will bring out, this looks like it will be Tyler Kuntz to kick it off here.
And Bryce Fettig's getting ready to return at his own 30-yard line. Snap. And it's going to be actually a keeper. And they're not going to go anywhere. They weren't even going to punt it looks like. And, yeah, he got no gain. That's turnover and downs inside their own 30. And that's where the Imperials are starting at the south border 28-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he had plenty of room at first. He got up to about the line of scrimmage when the Imperials picked up on that and pretty much stopped that play in a hurry. I think the wet ground might have had a little bit to do with that, but that nonetheless is a turnover on downs by the south border Mustangs.
And it looks like he was trying to run a trick play from what I understood, but here we go, Imperials. And that's a quarterback keeper, Jangula on the far side, trying to get to the edge. He breaks free, and he looks like he's going to gain 9 yards on that quarterback keeper to the right side.
Yeah, Jangula takes the snap and hangs on to it, running to his right to the far side, and gets across the line of scrimmage, turning that corner, doing a little stiff arming, trying to gain what he can, and he does a pretty good job picking up about 8 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd and 2 from about the 20-yard line here for the Imperials.
7:30 remaining, second quarter, 6-0. Imperials in the lead on their homecoming. Jangula is going to be underneath center. 2 wide receivers to the left side. Fettig is one of them. Rolling out to the right, just tosses it right to the tight end, and it's I really don't know what it is. It looks like there's a fight for it, and they're going to say incomplete from what I understand.
Yeah, that ball just kind of a short little...
They said first down.
Okay.
So it was complete. I didn't even see who got it then.
It was Jamison Fettig, okay, that made the complete pass there. It was kind of right in a pile there. Couldn't really tell exactly who had that, but Jamison Fettig comes down with that for the first down.
All right, so here we go. Jangula's underneath center. 2 wide receivers to the right side. Again, player in motion. They're going to hand it off to Weigel right through the middle with a gaping hole. He's plowing forward, and he's going to be inside. No, he's going to be about the 5-yard line. And that's going to be about a 7-yard gain on that one.
Yeah, about a 7-yard gain is right, Kyle, as he just worked his way and pushed up the middle there trying to get into that end zone. He's going to be right at about the 5-yard line where they'll place that ball. It was Blaine Gross on the stop for the south border Mustangs.
6:30 remaining, 6-0. Imperials are up. They're threatening the score, and it is officially 2nd and 3 or so. Underneath, Jangula underneath center. Snap, dropping back, looking to pass to the right side, rolls out to the left, quarterback keeper up through the middle, wide open, and he's going to roll to the end zone, and that's a 5-yard touchdown run by Dalton Jangula.
Yeah, he was tackled right at about the line of scrimmage. Alex Roof there getting a hand on him, but not until he gets himself in the end zone is Dalton Jangula by a quarterback keeper. Looked like he rolled back to make the pass there, and not much happening, so he just decided to run it right on in himself, as he sure did.
2-point conversion pending now for the Imperials. 6:10 remaining in the half. Jangula underneath center, player in motion. And he's going to hand it off right to the right side to officially Jake Bakken, and it's going to be in, and that makes it 14-0. 2-point conversion good. Back in 1 minute, KSJB. 14-0, Napoleon-GS Streeter over the South Border Mustangs here in Napoleon for the homecoming game. And that's going to be a quick punt there, and they're trying to do a reverse, a kickoff, they're trying to do a reverse, but nothing happened. It's going to be about their own 30-yard line or so for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that ball just kicked up here. The Mustangs grabbed it, tried to flip that ball as a reverse, but just nothing happened, and the Mustangs just not able to get any offense really going here, as they really need something here to answer back to the Imperials. 2 scores here, as the South Border Mustangs trail 14-0 here over the Imperials.
1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line for the South Border Mustangs. Trying to get something going. Shotgun with only one quarterback now, and I don't know if that was... Oh, there's a bad snap. It's low, and they're just going to drop on his Jokum, and that's going to be almost a 15-yard loss on that bad snap from the Mustangs. Everything's kind of going wrong for South Border.
Yeah, that snap was very low, and no chance for Jokum to really get his hands on it. and he just had to run back a ways and pretty well jump on that ball to keep from a turnover. And being so close there, they're going to be on about the 15-yard line now.
That was a 15-yard loss also. So here we go for the Mustangs facing a 2nd and 25. Long way to go deep in their own territory. They're trying to hand it off here to Blaine Gross. He's not going to get anywhere. Maybe a gain of 1, and that's about it. Make it 3rd and 24.
Yeah, Devin Weigel and Bryce Feddick team up for the stop there. But Gross just rolling out to his right, trying to get something happening, and really doesn't really gain anything but maybe a yard on that play.
I'll make it 3rd and 24. About the 16-yard line for the Mustangs, and Mustangs having a tough time here tonight. Weather, offense, defense, just can't get anything going. And we're running out of the second quarter with 4:38 remaining, 14-0 Imperials. Player in motion, Jokum dropping back for a pass. He's under pressure, and the line couldn't even hold him. Fumble on the ground. And that might be Imperials. We'll see whom. Yeah, I think it's the Imperials with that fumble recovery, and just like that, it could be a 3-score game in less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, it looked like Jokum got wrapped up there by Devin Weigel as he was able to spin and pop that ball out. So they're staying. It's still
staying. So they looked like it was a lucky save there by the Mustangs. And they're just going to punt it on 4th and long, and that punt didn't really go anywhere. It's going to bounce out roughly at the, it's going to be about the 37-yard line or so.
Yeah, just a very low, kind of maybe got it off the side of his foot. Tyler Kuntz wasn't able to really hook up with that. He was in the end zone pretty much trying to kick that out, or punt it out rather. And it'll be Imperials' ball here as they are in South Border Mustang territory on their 37-yard line. So looking to possibly score again here are the Imperials. They lead 14-0, 3:47 to go here in the second quarter.
Imperials lining up, Jengula underneath center. Got Bitts in the backfield, got Weigel in the backfield, and also Bakken. Bakken's going to go in motion. He's going to get the handoff to the right side. And he's going to try to beat that edge, just couldn't get anything going. And that's going to be maybe a gain of 4 yards on Bakken.
Yeah, just a run in motion there. That was going to be Bakken just moving left to right as he took the snap, and then running out to his right to the far side of the field, turned the corner and just gained a few yards before the Mustang stopped him there. So the ball going to be on about the 33-yard line here now in Mustang territory.
3:15 remaining, second quarter, 14-0 in favor for the Imperials, and Weigel with a gaping hole, and he's still getting pushed by the Mustangs. They gain a few more yards, and that's going to be a 5, 10, 15, 20-yard scamper almost.
Yeah, almost a 20-yard pickup there by Nathan Weigel, taking the snap there, or the handoff rather, and just cutting up the middle, found a hole just across the line of scrimmage, and was finally pulled down by Blaine Gross of the Mustangs, but not until he got up to about the 15-yard line.
Under 3 minutes remaining in your second quarter. Underneath center, it's going to be Jangula. He's going to hand it off. I believe that's Bitts on the far side with his quick speed. Beats the edge, and that's going to be, no, not a touchdown. It's going to be called out roughly at the 1-yard line still. And that's going to be a 14-yard scamper by Bitts.
Yeah, nice run there by Jacob Bitts, running to his left as he was only had to beat Blake Sogi. And Sogi able to give him a little shove and get him knocked out of bounds right before the end zone, saving some points there from the Imperials.
There was a flag on the play, though, there, Joe.
Okay.
And it's going to be on the Imperials, so they're moving it back. So that 15-yard scamper is no more.
Erased. So that'll put the ball back. Let's see, they're placing that ball.
I can't really see
about
where
the
the ball.
26, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like 26, still first down, and that's going to be barely a gain there, maybe 3 yards.
Yeah, Weigel right up the middle, trying to get something with it going there. Darren Van Gorkum on the stop for the Mustangs. Just gets that ball just across the 25 to about the 24-yard line, but really not much of a gain there as it's second and 21 here.
Yeah, second and 21, 2 minutes remaining before halftime. Imperials are knocking on the door again, dropping back. Jangula, he's going to go for a long pass, and my goodness, he caught again was Fedek. He caught it inside the 10-yard line, and Fedek is having a heyday today with the catches in the wind.
That was Bryce.
Yeah.
That was his brother.
Oh, that was Bryce Fedek there that made that.
So either way, Fedek made it.
Yes.
It was one of the Fedeks that made it. How about that?
Yep.
But they'll say Bryce made that one. That was the tight end making that one. So a beautiful tight end out. And he got it on the near side. That'll make it a 1-yard line. So officially a 20-yard gain on those two.
Yeah, 24 yards exactly. They were at the 24-yard line throwing it into the end zone.
All right, so here we go for the first and goal from the 1-yard line for the Imperials. Jangila, he's just go quarterback keeper and walk right in. Touchdown, 1-yard touchdown run for the Imperials. They are now officially up 20-0 right before halftime.
Yeah, Jangila had just some wide open blocking there. Nice job by the Imperials offense as Jangila able to just jump to his right and run right into the end zone. Pretty well untouched to make it 20-0, like Kyle said. A minute 30 to go here in the second quarter, as it's been all Imperials as they have been pretty well shutting out the South Border Mustangs here, as the Mustangs just can't get any offense going.
Here we go, minute 30 left, and we got a timeout. Timeout for, we're waiting to see which way. It's going to be Imperials with the timeout. They're up 20-0, 2-point conversion pending. Back in 1 minute, KSJB. We're back here in Napoleon, 20-0, pending the 2-point conversion for the Imperials. Sorry if we're having some connection issues here tonight in Napoleon. Here we go, Jangula, he's dropping back for a pass, rolling out to the far side, and he's finally just going to throw it, and it is going to be caught, and 2-point conversion good. Just like that, 22-0 in favor for Napoleon, 1:30 remaining. Back in a minute, KSJB. All right, so we're back. So we must have missed the 2-point conversion. Must have had some connection issues there. So, Joe, once again, I didn't see who that 2-point conversion went to, but it's 22-0. Once again, apologize for the connection issues. We'll switch out something here at halftime to see if that's going to help the connections here tonight on KSJB.
Yeah, I think it might have been Fedek in the back there. It was hard to see. It was way on the far corner. Jangula did a nice job rolling out to his right and looking into that end zone. He ran almost to the far end of the field before he finally found his receiver wide open in the end zone and made that 2-point conversion good.
All right, so here we go. The Imperials are kicking off once again. 1:30 remaining before halftime. There's the kick. That's a nice boot. And it's going to roll into the end zone, and they're going to say touchback, and the Mustangs will be starting at their own 20-yard line with 1:30 remaining.
Yeah, that was a nice kick there by the Imperials as it bounced over here about the 15-yard line right by Blaine Gross, but he let it bounce, and it bounced all the way into the end zone. So we'll start at, like Kyle said, it'll be placed at the 20-yard line here for the Mustangs with just a minute and a half to go here before halftime. They trail. They try to get some points on the board to make this a ball game.
Yeah, so here we go. Let's see what the Mustangs can have. Some offense at least to try and get something going. 22-0, Imperials in the lead at your homecoming for the Imperials. And we actually have a timeout for the Mustangs. They didn't even get a playoff. Timeout 22-0. Napoleon Geckel Streeter in the lead. Back in a minute, KSJB. Tyler Kuntz takes the carry for a 5-yard gain. That's actually, he plays guard, but they're putting him in now. They must want a bigger running back because Kuntz, he's 210, senior's at 5'10 height.
Yeah, gain of about 5 yards, just running it up the middle. Just powering his way up the middle pretty much. Took about 2 or 3 Imperials to stop him on that run.
1 minute, less than 1 minute remaining. Mustangs are down 22-0. And another run up in the middle, and Imperials are just reading everything beautifully. That's run by Blake Sogi, and that's going to be a no gain on that one.
Yeah, just trying to run it up the middle. The Mustangs here, and now there's just like 35 seconds left here in the first half. They're going to try to move that football. 3rd and 5 now. That ball on about the 25-yard line, still in their own territory. Working to try to get something to happen here. See if they got one more play left here, it looks like, as now we're about 15 seconds, clock running.
Yeah, we're going to see what the Mustangs are going to do underneath center. Sogi, handoff, left side. Didn't see who got the handoff on that one with 4 seconds remaining, but the clock does stop because he gets the first down for a 6-yard gain.
That was Tyler Kuntz again, I believe, as it was him getting up with the ball, powered his way to the left side, driving up the middle. 4 seconds left here as this will end the second quarter.
All right, after 2 quarters, Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter 22, South Border 0. We'll be back in roughly 3 minutes on KSJB. We are back here on Classic Country AM 600 KSJB, online at ksjbam.com. And we'll get to some scores here around the state on this rainy and windy day across North Dakota. And hopefully we had our technical difficulties sorted out here in like the first half. Let's get to some stats here for today. Joe's figuring out the numbers. We're going to start with what has happened for some of the highlights. Well, South Border got the ball to start things off, and they had to punt it right away. Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter was driving. They got to the South Border 15-yard line, and then they fumbled it. The Mustangs take over at their own 16, but they had the punted after that. Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter got on the board first at the 10:49 mark in the second quarter. It was a touchdown. It was number 18 himself, and that would be officially Jacob Bitts, of course. Jacob Bitts with that. And that's a 6-yard run, 2-point conversion, no good. 6-0 Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter. South Border got the ball back, but then they elect to go for it instead for punted deep in their own territory. And turnover on downs. Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter got it back at the South Border 28-yard line. And that's going to be Dalton Jangula with a 5-yard run, 2-point conversion good. 14-0 Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter. South Border had the punt again, and Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter got it back with 3:47 remaining in the first half, and they started at the South Border 37-yard line. They scored a touchdown with 1:30 remaining in the first half. It was Jangula with a 1-yard touchdown run. 2-point conversion was good. 22-0 Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter right now at halftime for the Imperials' homecoming in Napoleon. Joe's still figuring out some stats, so we are going to take a quick break. We'll take a minute break and be back here on KSJB. We're back here on AM 600 KSJB, a windy and misty day for tonight. They're doing homecoming, of course, at halftime, so we're going to have a little longer halftime than usual in Napoleon. 22-0 Imperials in the lead. Let's get to some stats with Mr. Joe Jacobs.
All right, we'll start with the visiting team, South Border Mustangs. They have carried the ball 20 times, but they only have 9 yards of positive rushing. They have been taken down for several losses, including a 15-yard loss by a bad snap there by David Jokum. But the biggest carrier was Blake Sogi for 10 yards on his third carry of the game. He's got 15 yards of rushing. And Tyler Kuntz has 11 yards. So at 20 carries, only 9 yards of positive rushing. And passing, only attempted 1 pass, and it was incomplete. That's all I've got for the Mustangs, as they've been held pretty low here. Now we jump over to the Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter Imperials on offense here. They've got 18 carries for 91 yards. And biggest ball mover there, Nathan Weigel with 56 yards. His biggest rush was an 18-yard gain, and he had a 15-yarder as well, but he has carried the ball 8 times for 56 yards. Then also I got, carrying the ball for them, Dalton Jangula, 16 yards, as well as Jacob Bitts has 13 yards, and Jake Bakken 5. Now passing the ball, they're 5 of 6 for 107 yards, a 45-yard pass completion to Jameson Fedig was their biggest one, and then they had a 24-yard gain to Bryce Fedig. That's their biggest plays. They had 1 penalty, a 5-yard offside call. So that's the offense so far here for both teams, Kyle, here at halftime.
So the Imperials doing very well, even in the passing aspect. Definitely the two Fedek wide receivers. And then the South Border Mustangs not working so well here for their defense or their offense in this rainy day. And, Joe, I think you're going to have to take a rag and wipe our window down, it looks like.
Yeah, didn't we see like a squeegee or something when we came
I
in?
think
We were
so.
wondering what that was for, but now I think we know.
I think it's for Joe Jacobs to go outside. No, I'm just kidding. We'll just tell Steve Allen to come out here and squeege it.
Yeah, he can handle it.
And look at this. Somebody's actually going to squeege it for us. They're so cool, aren't they?
Yeah, very
See,
good.
look at that. He's ready to go. All right, so once again, the score is 22-0 in favor for Napoleon-GS here for tonight's matchup. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back in 2 minutes, we'll take a look at some scores around the region here around North Dakota on KSJB. We're back here in Napoleon, North Dakota for the Imperials homecoming game. They lead 22-0 over the South Border Mustangs for tonight. And Joe, the weather's probably playing in a factor for some of the plays, but it doesn't affect, it looks like, the Imperials definitely for the passing.
Yeah, it really hasn't. You know, they got almost 6 or 7 passing yards. The Imperials do, and that's probably the difference in the game, of course, but yet some of those snaps have just been the biggest breaker here for the Mustangs as they're taking some low snaps, a little wet ball, and getting by them, and they're just not able to recover except land on the ball to save it, and they're losing 10, 15 yards at a time.
Yeah, it's been a kind of a sloppy game out there, still 22-0. All right, let's get to some scores. The Valley City is leading Watford City 8-6 at halftime. Moving on here, looks like after one quarter, it is Bishop Ryan and Lewis and Clark Berthold tied at 0 after one quarter. Bismarck High is leading Williston 16-6 at halftime. It's Minot leading Mandan 42-0. Bismarck Century is crushing Legacy 28-0, and that's a surprising matchup. Legacy is actually ranked in the top 5 and also is Century, so not a really exciting game for those two top matchups at all. Other matchups, Delax Burlington is leading Botno 40-0. Thompson, number 1 team in 9-man, leads number 3 Cavalier 12-0 at halftime. North Prairie leads Dunseith 62-0 second quarter.
Oh my
is right. 62-0 second quarter, and it's not even halftime yet. And moving on here, Milnor North Sargent is leading Oaks 27-0 at halftime. Let's see, I think that's all the scores I am going to get here so far for this matchup. But yeah, some blowouts going on, and looks like the weather is not having a factors for some of the teams, it looks like, Joe.
Yeah, I had an update here just from it's not halftime that I know of yet, but at second quarter, Ellendale Edgeley Cullum tied at 21 with Fargo Oak Grove. That game being played in Fargo, kind of a big game for probably both teams there.
Yeah, that's a big game. Other ones here, we have West Fargo that defeats Grand Forks Red River 41-8. Killdeer leads Heart River 35-6 at halftime. So lots of scores popping in as we're approaching the halfway point for most of the teams, I guess, around the state halftime. And, Joe, it's 22-0 here once again in favor for Napoleon-GS, and Napoleon-GS gets it to start things off in the second half.
Yeah, they do. So they got a lot of momentum going for them, obviously, Kyle, and this is the Mustangs are really hopefully they had a good time, a good chat to try to figure out a way to stop the Imperials right now, and they just have to really kind of keep a handle on that ball and keep from turning it over and just figure out a way to break through and get some offensive yards put up on the board.
Yeah, as long as they can start getting some offense, I think everything will be put together right after that. So once again, 22-0 on this windy and rainy, misty day. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we will, of course, have the second half right here on KSJB and KSJBAM.com. We're back here on AM 600 KSJB. Don't forget we stream online at KSJBAM.com, and you can download our app free for your phone or tablet. Just type in KSJB on the Google Play or the Apple App Store. And Joe, our upcoming schedule, We have 3 games in the regular season left, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
We have Napoleon-GS at Linton HMB next Friday night. After that, we will have Napoleon-GS at Kidder County. After that, that'll be October 7th or something similar around there, I believe.
Yep.
And then we'll actually have 2 games coming up in the middle of October. We'll have Oaks at Ellendale Edgeley Cullum for a Class A matchup on the Friday. I believe that's the 14th.
Yep.
Don't quote me on that.
That is.
And then on Saturday, October 15th, we're going to have an afternoon game in which it's the first round of the 9-man playoffs already on that Saturday. Of course, the playoff schedule is to be determined yet, and we probably won't know our game until October 7th probably, or October 8th.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, a lot of these games coming up here are huge games, not only just to see where these teams are going to be seated, but also where the games will be played too. And nothing's really going to be decided probably in some of these regions until about, like Kyle just said, that last week around the 7th. We'll probably know right about then.
And, of course, I believe it's Region 1 versus Region 2, Region 3 versus Region 4. I think that's how the breakdown does for the region matchups in 9-man. And we'll have all those details as we get closer to playoffs. So right now, though, we have very important regular season games, and here we go. Let's start out your second half. It's the South Border Mustangs kicking off to the Napoleon-GS Imperials, as the Imperials already lead 22-0 here after halftime. Here we go, Joe.
Yeah, we had our windows cleaned off here by some nice Napoleon-GS fans so we could see out the windows here.
And there's a squeegee in here, actually, too.
Yes.
And they're going to try to squib kick it to try to get back, and it didn't work, so here we go. It's going to start at around their own 50, or middle of the 50-yard line, I should say, for the Imperials.
Yeah, Tyler Long actually jumped on that ball as he was able to make the completion there to hang on to it for the Imperials. Just a nice squib kick there. Good try for the South Border Mustangs, but didn't work as Tyler Long jumping on it. So the Imperials start here left to right on your radio dial here.
They're at their own 48-yard line. So here go the Imperials. Jangula's underneath center, player in motion. Jangula is going to hand it off. I believe that's Weigel, if I'm not mistaken, with that handoff, a gain of 1.
Yeah, just a short gain there by Weigel. And it was going to be Tyler Kuntz on the stop there for the South Border Mustangs, just trying to run it right up the middle.
That'll be a gain of 2, so it'll be right at the 50-yard line. 2nd and 8 or so for the Imperials. Underneath center, looks like you got some mist rolling through the lights now that you can see. Handoff, far near side, and there goes Bakken, and he gets the first down, but there's a flag on the play after the roughly 8-yard scamper.
Yeah, Bakken doing a nice job rolling to his right, cutting toward the near side of the field here in front of us. He got that ball up across where it would have been across the first down marker, but we'll see. Looks like it's going to be holding on the Imperials, so that's going to back that ball back up. That run will be erased.
I'll make it 2nd and longer now. And Stanford at the 50-yard line. They're going to be back at their own 39-yard line. So a pretty hefty penalty on that, roughly a 10-yard penalty. So here we go, 2nd and long, 2nd and 18 to be exact for this next snap for the Napoleon-GS Imperials. Both of these teams have a 4-1 record. Trying to get that number 2 seed at least, or number 1 seed even, get that home game is what they're trying to get for playoffs. And that's going to be handoff and to Bitts, and he's going to gain 2 yards on that carry, 3rd and long.
Yeah, Bitts just grabbing that and running right up the middle, trying to power his way through the pack. He gets that ball up across. The ball's going to be about the 42-yard line. So he crosses the 40-yard line and gets to about the 42-yard line before he stopped there by the South Border Mustangs. So it's going to bring up about 3rd and 15 here.
10:35 remaining, 3rd quarter, 22-0 Imperials. They control the ball. Jangula's underneath center, puts Bitts in motion to the far side, hands off to Weigel right through the middle, and he gains 5 yards to make it 4th and 10.
Yeah, just a quick handoff running right up the middle was Weigel, and it was going to be Darren Van Gorkum on the stop for the South Border Mustangs, just right up the middle there. But Weigel showing off a little power, trying to run pretty fast through there, but that's going to bring up 4th and 10 here now for the Imperials. They are on their own 48-yard line.
We're going to see what they're going to do at their own 48-yard line, and they're going to go for it on 4th and 10. They're bringing up the punt team now for the defense. Dropping back is Jangula. He's going deep. Wide open is the tight end, and caught. That is Bryce Fettig with another huge reception.
Yeah, it's got to be about a, let's see, that ball going to be
25.
Yeah, about a 25-yard gain there. Caught there by Bryce Fettig. He got out ahead of the Mustangs and got a nice catch there as he was able to roll that ball in for the first down.
South Border Mustangs defense wasn't even close to being ready as they were waiting for the punt. And now we have a timeout. Oh, the lights. Yes, you cannot have lights on during the football game. So if you're listening to this on the good old radio in your car, make sure your lights are off. Just keep that in mind. Your lights have to be completely off in order to watch the football game. Thank you very much. We have another light on the far side, too. That one should be off, too, on the far side of the field. So make sure your lights are off if you're listening to the radio in your car at the football field. Much appreciated. Makes the game go that much better for the players. It's kind of a safety thing for the players, too. Waiting here for Jangula underneath center. And he's going to hand it off to Bakken. He cuts back inside. He's getting tackled, but he's going to be pushed while getting tackled. That's going to be a 10-yard gain by Bakken.
Yeah, a good 10-yard gain there. Nice running in motion handoff to his right. And then cutting up the middle, he's finally brought down by Martin Diarcos and a couple other South Border Mustangs.
Here we go with 9:13 remaining, third quarter, 22-0 underneath center. Jangula, it's Weigel in the backfield. Handed off to Weigel, wide open with running room, cuts back inside, touchdown. That is a 15-yard touchdown run by Weigel.
Nathan Weigel getting that handoff, and he found some room, got a nice block there about the line of scrimmage, had to shuffle back to the left a little bit, but cuts forward, and he runs it in all the way without being touched. That puts the score up to 28 for the Napoleon Streeter Imperials and 0 for the South Border Mustangs. 9:01 to go here in the third quarter.
All right, of course, 30 points is the mercy rule in North Dakota high school football. So the 2-point conversion is very important actually here. So Jangula is underneath center. He's going to hand it off the bits on the far side, trying to plow forward, and that's going to be no good. 28-0, 2-point conversion was no good. 9 minutes remaining, third quarter. Back in a minute, KSJB. 28-0 here in Napoleon for the Imperials homecoming. South Border's getting ready to receive the kickoff, and that 2-point conversion was no good to make it 30-0 on that last touchdown. So the clock will stay the same. No running clock and no mercy rule to take effect yet for this ball game. So South Border has a chance with plenty of time left. And that one's going to take a bounce, some more bounces, another bounce picked up inside their own 20. Trying to plow forward and get a few yards will be Jared Caseman, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 20, roughly the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that ball, Caseman rolled all the way to him and then almost passed him a little bit as he grabbed it to pick it up and ran to his right, then spinning back to his left a little bit, getting that ball up to about the 21-yard line where the South Border Mustangs will be in their own territory, running from right to left on the radio dial here.
8:55 remaining. Mustangs need something if they want to get back in this game. Still plenty of time. Third quarter, 9 minutes left. And they are going to hand it off after the underneath the quarterback. That's going to be officially a run by David Jokum, a gain of 4.
Yeah, Jokum just runs to his left, tries to power his way up the middle, gains about 4 yards on the play where it's Dalton Jangula that makes the stop for the Imperials.
Second down and a manageable 5. The ball is going to be about their own 26-yard line. 8:29 remaining in your third quarter for this Region 3 matchup. Underneath center, I believe that's going to be Jokum again. Nope, that's actually Sogi on the handoff. And the carry looks like by, who is that? Jokum again, it looks like?
No, actually, it was
or
Blaine Gross that had that carried the ball there, yes.
Okay, so that's a gain of 3 by Blaine Gross.
Yep. About 3 yards, just running to his right from the handoff and swallowed up by the Imperials there. And about three guys on the stop there for the Imperials.
3rd and 2 for the Mustangs. And they're going to hand it off once again to Gross. He's going to try fight for something, but he's just going to get back to the line of scrimmage to make it 4th and 2. And now here we go. What do the Mustangs do? It's deep in their own territory, but they need some points.
Yeah, it was Bryce Fedek on the stop there for the Imperials, stopping Gross. But, brings up just, 4th and a couple yards, Kyle.
Yeah, with 7:20 remaining, third quarter. So let's see what the South Border Mustangs elect to do as they need something. They're down 28-0, but the bad thing is they're already deep in their own territory, their own 30-yard line. So they are going to go for it, the South Border Mustangs, as they're going to line up and try to do a quarterback sneak, and I don't even think it got it, but it's going to be close. Yeah, it looks like they got it if they stop the clock.
Not sure who was on the carry there. It might have been Sogi, actually. But not sure who had that, but it looks like they're going to move the chains.
We'll say Sogi with a 1-yard gain or so on that one. That was pretty much kind of just a quarterback sneak from what it looked like. Can't really see from this angle.
Yeah, he was the last one up, so I'm pretty sure it was Sogi on the carry.
So under 7 minutes remaining, the ball's on the 32-yard line for the South Border Mustangs, and they have a long way to go. Once again, they are down by 28, and it's going to be a drop back for a pass, as that's going to be Sogi. He's going to pass it, and it was intended there for Blaine Gross, incomplete, and that's one of those rare passes by the Mustangs.
Yeah, that ball just rolling out, he rolled out to his left, looked down the field there, but just no receivers that were really able to get a hand on that ball. Gross, the intended receiver, but not able to quite catch up with it. Close to, I was watching for a penalty flag, could have been close to a holding call in the back, but nothing whistled on that play. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 from the South Border Mustang 32-yard line. Mustangs. It's going to be underneath center once again is going to be Blake Sogi. Puts Gross in motion. Gross gets the handoff. Trying to cut back inside, but he's going to gain maybe 1 yard, and not even, it looks like.
Yeah, Devin Weigel making the stop there for the Imperials, but Gross running to his right, trying to get spun and turned back across the line of scrimmage, but just nothing happening as Weigel makes the stop for the Imperials, and maybe just a short gain, if anything there. 3rd and 9 is what the clock reads here.
Yep, 28-0, 6 minutes remaining, third quarter on a 3rd and 9. And here we go for the Mustangs. They're going to take the snap, handoff, and a good handoff by their big fullback, you could call him, Tyler Kuntz. He actually plays guard, but he's going to get some carries. That's a good, roughly 8-yard gain.
Yeah, a nice run there by Tyler Kuntz, a well-needed run there. Going to bring down a 4th down, though, as that stop made by, I believe, Pacey Feist for the Imperials.
Here we go on roughly a 4th and 4 for the Mustangs at their own 38. See if they're going to go. They are going to go for it again, I should say. Waiting for the snap, handoff, and that's going to be a turnover and downs, not even close, maybe a gain of 1 on the run.
Yeah, I think it was that Kuntz again?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Just trying to run it right up the middle, but just nothing there. That Imperial defense just swallowed them up right about the line of scrimmage, so really didn't gain anything. Maybe got it close to about the 40, so maybe just a 2-yard, but that's about it here for the Mustangs as they kind of turn over the ball here on down. So Imperials go now.
Yeah, the Imperials are at the south border 40-yard line, and we had a carry there. Didn't see whom got the carry on that one. Okay, that was Weigel again. Okay, Weigel with the carry. Yeah, that's only about a 1-yard gain, the 2nd and 9.
Yeah, just running to his left and then trying to turn up the middle. Martin Diarcos, I believe, on the stop there for the south border Mustangs.
Under 5 minutes remaining, third quarter, 28-0 here in Napoleon on this rainy, soggy, and windy day. Normal North Dakota weather, you can say, in the fall. Dropping back, Jangela finally hands it off. Wide open running room for Bakken, and he's going to be brought down roughly at the 20-yard line. That's a beautiful 20-yard scamper, it looks like.
Yeah, a 20-yard run there. Bakken just grabs that handoff there, running to his right and toward the near side of the field, makes a nice cut and powers his way up with for a nice gain on that play for about 20 yards.
4:27 remaining, third quarter, 28-0. Jangula is going to be underneath center, facing a 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line in the red zone, threatening the score again. Bitts in motion, and there's a handoff to Weigel once again. He's trying to plow forward. He gains 4 or 5 yards on that one.
Yeah, Weigel just powering his way up the middle there. Going to be Van Gorkum. That's Darren Van Gorkum on the stop there for the Mustangs, but it's going to be about a 4-yard gain there. So it'd be 2nd and 6 here. Ball on about the 15-yard line here for the Imperials in south border territory.
Third quarter, Jangula's underneath center. Weigel's in the backfield. Also is Bakken and Bitts. Bitts in motion. Bitts going to get the handoff on the far side of the field. He's trying to get to the edge, drives back inside, and he's going to get that first down. That's a good 70-yard run by Jacob Bitts.
Yeah, Bitts kind of running from right to left to the far side of the field, then turning and trying to run down that far side of the field where he's tackled by about 3 south border Mustangs, but nice turn run play there. Got a little room there by Jacob Bitts on the run.
3:32 remaining, 28-0, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for the Imperials. Imperials underneath center is going to be Jangula, and there's a handoff and slipping, and a rough hit there. Who was the ball carrier on that one? That was Bakken. Yeah, he got hit pretty hard on that slip.
Yeah, he gets up. It seems to be okay. He's walking, seems to be walking just fine, but he took a pretty good hit, pretty good lick there, and I don't believe there's any gain on that play there by Bakken, as I believe it'll bring up 2nd and goal here.
Yeah, but we have a timeout, it looks like, on a 2nd and goal. Timeout officially for the South Border Mustangs. We will too. Back in 1 minute, KSJB. 28-0, 2nd and goal for the Imperials. They're up by 28, trying to get that mercy rule to go in effect. Weigel's actually gonna hand it off here to officially Michael Fettig with the touchdown. That's a 5-yard touchdown run by Michael Fettig. Was it?
Okay, so it's not
so what was
quite
that?
in.
Are they really going to say half-yard line? Okay. Well, you got to love it sometimes when you can't tell from this angle. But still, it's going to be a 4-yard gain, and that was Fettig, I believe, with the carry yet.
Yes, Michael Fettig on the
So I was half right. Yep. There's Fettig in the backfield again, underneath center. Jangula. And they're going to hand it off to Fettig, and this time he walks in. So that's going to be a 1-yard touchdown run by Fettig to make it officially 34-0. I got that one right, Joe.
Yep, you got that one right. Yep, 34-0 now as the Imperials just keep pounding them in here on their home field, as that was just a handoff there to Michael Fettig running on in as he pretty much untouched. Tripped up a little bit, but he was pretty much in the end zone already.
Michael Fettig, a senior. This is his first year of football, they just said to me, so he gets his touchdown for the first year for football. Not bad, Michael Fettig.
Yeah, he'll enjoy that.
Yes, that's for sure. Waiting here for the 2-point conversion now. And it's going to be another carry inside, and good for Weigel. and it's 36-0, 1:35 remaining. Imperials in the lead back in 1 minute, KSJB. We're back here in the third quarter. Mercy rule now in effect with 1:35 remaining in third quarter, 36-0 for the Imperials. Imperials are going to be kicking off now. And there's the kick. Good line drive. And that's going to be picked up by David Jokum. And Jokum is, there's a flag on the play. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. So we'll see what this one is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's might be a holding call in the back here. Is Jokum picking that ball up? The officials discussing it here. There's just a minute 30 to go here in the third quarter.
Remember, the clock keeps running now. The only way to stop the clock is with timeouts. That's it. Doesn't matter if you go out of bounds or anything. Clock runs.
Or an official timeout because it has stopped right at the moment.
Well, or official timeout. I guess that
they're
would count too.
Waving off the flag, actually. So no flag now, they're saying.
All right, so they are waving off the flag, and it's going to be first down for the Mustangs. The ball officially on, what's it look like, Joe, through the foggy window?
About the 28-yard line, roughly.
Okay, we'll say 28-yard line with a minute 31 to go. Here we go for the Mustangs, trying to get something on the board for this matchup. Underneath center. Looks like that's going to be once again Sogi. And a carry there, and no gain on that carry.
Yeah, Fedek making the stop there, Bryce Fedek, but just running to his right.
Blaine Gross, it looks like.
Was it Gross?
Yep.
Okay. Running to his right down the line of scrimmage, and just nothing there except the Imperials, as that ball pretty much moved maybe about a yard. He'll gain, they're saying, on that little scamper there.
And, of course, the clock is running on a 2nd and 9, 51 seconds remaining, third quarter. And that one's going to be a handoff once again in the middle. And that looks like Kuntz with the carry, and he's going to gain 10 yards, first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Kuntz showing a little power there. He put his shoulder down about halfway through that run, and he knocked over a few of the Imperials with him. That ball going to get brought up here just inside the 40 now. Be about, I believe, right about the 39-yard line here. The Mustangs with it in their own territory yet, working right to left here on the field.
36-0, 25 seconds remaining, and looks like another carry by Kuntz again, and that's roughly a 4-yard gain again.
Yeah, about a 4-yard gain is right there by Tyler Kuntz. Devin Weigel on the stop for the Imperials. That brings the ball just across the 40-yard line up to about the 43-yard line here for the Mustangs.
And that's going to be the end of three quarters, 36-0 in favor for the Napoleon-Streeter Imperials. We'll be back in 1 minute for the fourth quarter, KSJB. We're back here in Napoleon, North Dakota for this matchup tonight in Region 3 nine-man football. 36-0 in favor for Napoleon-Streeter with 12 minutes on the clock.
You know, Kyle, the Mustangs lost Cole Ketterling to a broken leg last week. So, I mean, you can see this offense really looks like they're struggling pretty much without him.
Yeah, and here we go. They're going to try pass it now. Is Blake Sogi, and that's completed, and trying to run across the sideline, David Jokum. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown, and that is officially going to be a 57-yard touchdown completion.
Yeah, a nice run there. Nice pass toss there, caught by Jokum, caught at just over midfield at about the 45-yard line into Imperial territory, and he only had one tackle to break. And he did that at about the 30-yard line, and he ran it all the way in, then untouched. So a nice job there by Jokum.
2-point conversion is very important because if they get it, Mercy rule stops, and the clock goes back to normal, and it's going to be a carry, and it's good, and the clock officially goes back to normal. And that is, I didn't see who got the 2-point conversion. Joe, who got it there?
Tyler Kuntz.
Again, all right, so with that, it is 36-8. Mercy rule is stopped. Clock is back to normal, back in 30 seconds, KSJB. We're back here on AM 600 KSJB. That was a 57-yard touchdown pass officially from Blake Soge, I believe, to Jokum. And just like that, the mercy rule has stopped after the 2-point conversion, 36-8 in favor for the Imperials. And I believe South Border is probably going to attempt an onside kick as they are lining it up.
Yeah, I'll see once what happens here, but that's probably what you would expect.
Kicking it for the Mustangs. And that looks like Jokum, Mark Jokum. And that's the onside. And it's rolling. Still anybody's ball, and it's a tackle there. Lots of tackling. Who's going to get that?
I believe it was recovered by the Imperials, Tyler Long. Long grabbing that ball there, just saving it. But the ball was live because it was touched and through the hands of one of the other Imperials, but Tyler Long able to jump on it and save it. So the Imperials will have it. Ball at about, about the 44-yard line here. The Imperials in their own territory.
Once again, the clock is back to normal. No more mercy rule clock in which the clock keeps running. Now it's back to normal stoppage. And wow, what a hit there. As trying to get that carry was Bakken. He could go nowhere. That's a loss of 3.
Clark Thiel just making the stop there for the South Border Mustangs, reading that play really well as Bakken taking that ball and running to his right from the handoff, and just nothing there, but Thiel he was able to just pretty much tackle him with a loss of about 2 or 3 yards.
Here we go for the next play. Jangula's underneath center, 10:32 remaining, fourth quarter. Player in motion is Bitts, hand off to Weigel. He's trying to plow forward, but he's still going to gain 5 yards. Still makes it 3rd and 9.
Yeah, just powering his way up the middle. Going to be Darren Van Gorkum on the stop there for the Mustangs, but getting that ball up across the 45 to about the 46-yard line here for the Imperials.
10 minutes to go, fourth quarter, 36-8. Imperials control the ball. They have the lead in Napoleon for their homecoming game tonight. Underneath center, Jangula seeing what the South Border defense can do, trying to stop them. And there's going to be handoff, and trying to break free and gets a first down for sure was Weigel. And that's going to be a 9-yard gain for Weigel.
Yeah, about a 9-yard gain is right. That's going to cross midfield up to about the 45-yard line, where it took about 2 or 3 South Border Mustangs to make the tackle. Blake Soge in there with amongst that group there for the Mustangs. So the ball placed right about the 45-yard line for the Imperials. This is in Mustang territory now.
9:39 remaining in your fourth quarter. Jangula underneath center. Waiting for the snap on the 1st and 10. It's going to be handoff to Weigel. Sidesteps, left side, gets hit. Loss of 1 on that play.
Yeah, Darren Van Gorkum on the stop there for the Mustangs. Loss of about a yard there is correct for Nathan Weigel on the run.
That'll make it 2nd and 11 from the 46-yard line in Mustang territory for the Imperials. They're up 36-8. We are streaming online, KSJBAM.com, waiting for the next play for the Imperials on their homecoming night. Good crowd on hand, even though the rain and wind is still pretty much out there yet. Play clock is running out. 4 seconds, 3 seconds on the play clock. They get the snap off. Jangula is going to try to carry it himself on the far side of the field. He's going to plow forward, and it looks like he's going to gain about 8 yards to make it 3rd and short.
Yeah, just running all the way to his right. Looked like a fake handoff to Weigel, and then he just kind of kept the ball, had to just back step a little bit, running to his right all the way to the far side of the field, then cutting forward down on that far side where he got tackled by about 3 of the South Border Mustangs defense there, but gaining a good strong 6 yards or so on that play.
36-8, 8:42 remaining, 3rd and a manageable 4 for the Imperials in Mustang territory. And we're going to have the play in which it looks like it got broken up in the backfield. That's going to be 4th and 5 now. They lost 1 yard, whoever carried that one.
Yeah, not sure who actually got their hand on that one. That one happened pretty fast. There's a lot of players around that ball, so not exactly sure. I think it's just the quarterback kind of with the keeper there pretty much.
36-8, fourth and a manageable 4 or so inside Mustang territory. So the Imperials just trying to keep the ball moving, to keep driving it. Dropping back, Jangula. He's going for a pass on the fourth and short. There's the pass. It's up in the air, picked up. Beautiful pass by Fedek, complete. And he's going to be brought out of bounds at the 6-yard line. My goodness, those passes are beautiful by Jangula.
Very nice placed ball right into the hands of Bryce Fedek. That was on the 41-yard line. See where they placed this one.
It was about the 6, I think they placed it.
So it's going to be about a 35-yard completion, roughly, as it was Blake Sogi that made the tackle, saving the touchdown there for the Mustangs. But ball on about the 6-yard line here.
7:59 remaining, fourth quarter, 36-8. Jangula's underneath center, waiting for the snap here. Trying to put him back up. There's a carry by Bakken. He gets off to the edge, trying to plow forward inside, and inside it is for a, looks like only about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, it's going to be close. That was Bakken running to his right and then making a quick turn forward, plowing his way up, trying to get in, but not quite, as they're going to place that ball just shy. About the 1-yard line is where that ball will be placed here.
Second and goal from the 1-yard line, 7:27 remaining in your fourth quarter. Jangula lines up at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be under center, waiting for the snap. Showing blitz of the Mustangs, dropping back. Jangula is going to hand it off to Bakken, cuts back on the far side, inside, and gets that 1-yard run for the touchdown, Imperials.
Yeah, Bakken looked like he had to work for that one. He kind of ran back a little bit and then around to his right, rolling out, and then able to plow his way and power his way in across that goal line for the score, making it 42-8 right now in favor of the Napoleon-GS Imperials over the South Border Mustangs. 6:45 here on the clock as the Imperials will go for their 2-point conversion.
And the clock is running, of course, because of that mercy rule. Waiting here for Jangula to go for the 2-point. They're up 42-8. Snap. Hand off to Bakken, and he's not going to get anywhere. So 2-point conversion, no good. 42-8 in favor for Napoleon-GS. Back in 30 seconds here on your fourth quarter, KSJB. Right now, the score in the fourth quarter in Napoleon, 42-8 in favor for the Imperials versus South Border. And the mercy rule is back in effect for the time clock here for tonight's football game. Joe, and it looks like the weather has no factor for the Imperials tonight.
No, they are really putting up some nice passing. You know, here they just made a 35-yard completion for that last almost touchdown, but they did punch it in, and they had a 25-yard completion earlier, but they were 5 of 6 for 107 yards in the first half. So their passing has been working, even though it's real windy and rainy out there for the Imperials.
And the pass has been almost the same play for each pass it has been for the Imperials. There's the kick. It's up, picked up, reverse, fumble, and just going to be picked up inside the 30. So whatever's going wrong for the Mustangs, it's been a little bit of everything tonight, Joe.
Yeah, that was caught there by Tyler Kuntz. Did a nice job there, and then just trying to get some speed with it. He hands it off to Blake Sogi, but the ball hit Sogi pretty much in the chest and bounced to the ground, and he pretty much had to dive on top of it. So that ball now will be at about the 30-yard line, right on the 30-yard line for the Mustangs.
All right, so here we go for the Mustangs. See if they can stop that clock. Blake Sogi puts a play in motion, and he's just going to do a quarterback keeper, and he's going to be tackled by Fedek, a gain of 2.
Bryce Fedek on the stop there, but a 2-yard gain there, about just powering his way up the middle there for the Mustangs.
So with that, 6 minutes remaining, clock still running, 42-8, fourth quarter. Imperials trying to go to 5-1 and 4-1 in the region, and we have a timeout on the field. It looks like they're just bringing in a different crew, if I'm not mistaken. But it looks like Sogi's still playing quarterback. Nope, it is not. So it's just going to be a quarterback keeper. That with the carries, Mark Jokum. Mark Jokum with the carry. He's going to gain 1 yard.
Yeah, running out to his right. And it's going to be tackled by Garrett Jangula. Got some other youngsters out there right now. Garrett Jangula, a 5'10 freshman for the Napoleon-GS Streeter defense right now, but also running that ball was Mark Jokum.
We got Jake Hare out there. He's a running back freshman at 140. Also, we have Ty Buchholz, running back freshman at 110. And underneath center is Mark Jokum, puts a play in motion. Snap is fumbled, and it's going to be still maybe a quarterback keeper on that after the fumbled snap by Jokum. No gain.
Yeah, no gain. That puts the ball right back about the 36-yard line. So 4th and 5 that brings up for the South Border Mustang offense to try to do something here. Clock running, 4:35 to go here in the ball game, 42-8 in favor of Napoleon-GS Streeter.
Here we go, waiting for the 4th down snap for Jokum and his crew. Player in motion. And Jokum's just going to try to get in, and he can't even get going because coming in and just swarming him right away would have to be Bryce Vedic. He just goes in and swarms him.
Yeah, just taking him down there in the backfield, and Jokum really had nothing happening there on that play.
4:20 remaining in your 4th quarter. Mercy rule in effect, and the Imperials are now going to take a quick timeout. We will too. Back in 30, KSJB. 4:20 to go in your 4th quarter. 42-8 in favor for the Imperials on their homecoming night in Napoleon on this rainy and windy day tonight. Here we go, Joe. Time to see how your memorization skills go for the roster for both sides of the football.
Yeah, we got a lot of young players in here right now, and pretty much JV squad out there for both teams.
Garrett Jangula is going to hand it off, and getting the carry there and trying to run forward is going to be Drew Weigel, a tight end junior. And he was playing running back there. That's gain of 11 yards on that. Clock still running.
Nice running play there. Drew Weigel just running to his left off the handoff there, and to the near side of the field, cutting up down the sideline. Actually, we saw him do a kick return last week against Strasburg-Zeeland. So youngsters here doing a pretty good job for the Imperials.
Here we go. Underneath center is going to be Garrett Jangula once again. Waiting for the snap. There's the snap. Snap is fumbled, and he's just going to keep it as he was going to hand it off, but he's just going to run it, and it's kind of a nice, beautiful pile there that's just kind of pushing forward. So a gain of 4 or so on that one by Jangula.
Yeah, it was like a big teepee. I think the guy in the middle wasn't getting any rain on him because there was a whole group of people around him. But, yeah, like Kyle said there, is just Jangula just trying to hand it off quick as the ball hit the ground. He was able to recover it, though, tried to hand it off, but just decided he better keep it and try to march forward with it, which they did a few yards.
42-8, 3 minutes remaining, clock running. Waiting underneath center is Garrett Jangula, the freshman. He's going to take the snap and going to hand it off, but swarmed right away. Levi Lang, the sophomore running back, gets the carry. Loss of 1 by Lang.
Lane Wolf on the stop there for the South Border Mustangs, doing a nice job reading that one, as there's a couple yard loss there on that play by the Imperials.
2:37 remaining, 4th quarter, 42-8. Imperials once again are going to move on to 5-1 with 4-1 in the region. Handoff. No, it's I believe it was a handoff. I just didn't see who got the handoff there, Joe.
Looks like Colton Jangula with the ball. Not sure who's on the stop there, but there's about 4 South Border Mustangs. It looked like Lane Wolf kind of leading that pack on the stop there. 2:10 to go here in the ball game, 42-8. The Imperials leading the Mustangs here in Napoleon.
4th and 6 from the South Border 18-yard line for the Imperials. JV crew out there for both of the teams trying to get some experience. Underneath center, once again, Garrett Jangula. Waiting for the time clock to run down a little bit. There's the snap. And trying to run forward is Jangula. He does a quick spin move, and he get hit pretty hard by one of the Mustangs. And that's going to be a turnover on downs from what it looks like after gaining 5 short of the 6. South Border Mustangs football.
Yeah, it looked like Mark Jokum on the stop there for the Mustangs, but the Imperials just trying to run it, trying to stall more clock out if they could, but they will turn it over on downs here. So 1st and 10 for the South Border Mustangs, ball at about the 10-yard line. This is in their own territory, so they're pinched pretty deep here. See what this young team can do with the ball.
1:40 remaining. Here we go. As the clock's just running out, as the Mustangs will fall to officially 4-2. They're going to be 3-2 in the region. And there's a carry by one of the young Mustangs. That was number 81, and I think that was it, or was it 91? Oh, no, excuse
81.
me. It was 81.
Haas.
Jason Haas maybe. Wide receiver, sophomore at 140 pounds at 5'9". And the clock's still running. Only maybe a couple more plays left here before the game's going to wrap up tonight on KSJB. And once again, thank you to our sponsors to make this broadcast possible. We'll have the post-game show coming up right after the completion of this football game tonight. Waiting for the snap. And that was a fumbled snap again. It looks like could be picked up by the quarterback, rolls out to the left, and it's going to be a loss of 6 yards. Going to make it a 3rd and 11 with 50 seconds remaining for the Mustangs.
Yeah, the Mustangs just having a terrible time here trying to hang on to that ball. Weather, I'm sure, very much a factor here for them, but just not able to really do much offensively here tonight at all.
Here we go on a 3rd and 10, 42-8 Imperials, 25 seconds remaining. Mustangs control the ball deep in their own territory, and they're going to hand it off. Fumbled on the ground, and it's going to be picked up by the Imperials, maybe. Oh, looks like it's going to be the Mustangs. I can't really tell, but the clock's still running. That might be the last play there, Joe.
Yep. And the rain is just starting to really drops are getting bigger on our window here. Good timing for that.
All right, final score here on this rainy evening. Napoleon-GS Street Air Imperials 42 on their homecoming. South Border Mustangs 8. We will be back in a few moments for the post-game show, KSJB. We're back here in Napoleon, North Dakota with the final score for the Napoleon-GS Street Air Imperials 42 and the South Border Mustangs 8. And that will bring the record for the Imperials now to officially a 5-1 record and 4-1 in the region. South Border will fall to 3-2 in the region, 4-2 overall. So Napoleon is hanging on to that number 2 seed, but next week they're in Linton, and that could be a battle for the number 2 seed and the bye week coming up next weekend right here on KSJB. Scoring, let's get going for tonight, starting with the first half. For the Napoleon-GS Streeters, they scored first. That was Jacob Bitts with a 6-yard run, 2-point conversion, no good, 6-0 Imperials. After that, another touchdown at 6:10 remaining in the first quarter. That's Dalton Jangula with a 5-yard run, 2-point conversion, good, 14-0 Imperials. By the way, it was 0-0 after 1 quarter of play, so everything started to pick up in the second half. For the Imperials now at the 1:30 mark in the second quarter, it was a touchdown run by Dalton Jangula, a 1-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion good, 22-0 Imperials at halftime. Now moving on to the second half, third quarter, 9 minutes, 1 second remaining, a touchdown. That's Nathan Weigel with a 15-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion no good, 28-0 Imperials. Then the Imperials score. Once again, this is going to be Michael Fettig. He's a senior, first year in football for a senior. He had a 1-yard run, 2-point conversion good, 36-0 Imperials on that score. They're just controlling the ball. But South Border Mustangs score in the fourth quarter with 11:39 remaining. This was a beauty of a pass. It was officially number 2. That would be Blake Sogi completing the pass to David Jokum. 57-yard pass for a touchdown, 2-point conversion good, 36-8 Imperials. And the final score of the game came at 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. This was a 1-yard touchdown run by Bakken for the Imperials. 2-point conversion, no good, 42-8. Final score, Napoleon-GS Streeter moves on to 5-1 for their record. Joe Jacobs now has some of the stats between both teams.
All right, we'll start here. South Border Mustangs. They didn't do a lot offensively in that first half. They had 20 carries for just 9 positive yards, and in the second half, 15 carries for 32 yards. Their largest ball carrier was Tyler Kuntz with 16 yards in that in the second half rather, and their biggest carrier was Blake Sogi with 15 in the first half. So a total of 35 carries for only 41 yards of offensive rushing here for the South Border Mustangs. Passing the ball, they were 0 for 1 in the first half, and they were 1 of 2 for 57 yards, like Kyle said, to David Jochum on a nice pass touchdown run there, and ended up 1 of 3 for 57 yards. And Kyle, I don't have any penalties that were called on the Mustangs tonight. There was a pretty clean game for them. Now we jump over here to the Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter Imperials. A little different situation here. They carried the ball 24 times in the second half for 108 yards. In the first half, they were 18 carries for 91 yards. Biggest ball carrier in the second half was Nathan Weigel with 38 yards. And Jake Bakken had 22 yards. And a couple 11-yarders were Jake Bitz and, Bakken. He had 22 yards. Okay, I got him. So here we go, 108 yards in that second half. So total 42 carries for 199 yards of offensive rushing I have for the Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter Imperials here on their home field tonight. For passing, they did a pretty good job. Second half, Dalton Jangla was on his game, hitting Bryce Feddick twice for a 25 and a 35-yard gain. So they were 2 for 2 for 60 yards. In the second half, there's 5 of 6 for 107 yards in that first half. So total 7 of 8 for 166 yards. Nice job of passing by the Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter Imperials. They had a penalty in each half, a 5-yard offside in the first half and a 10-yard holding call in the second half. So that's the stats I got here, individual-wise, Kyle.
And the rain starts pouring right after the game's done.
Yeah, now we can really hear it on the roof of the crow's nest here. It's pounding pretty good. We had the Imperials fans squeegeeing off our windows, thanks to Tim Long there. He was a great help there, so we could see the ball out there on the field.
Well, next week we're going to be following Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter once again, just how our schedule worked out for all the Region 3 teams. The Imperials will be traveling to Linton to take on Linton HMB Lions in what could be a battle for second place in the region, maybe even first place. It depends how the Shiloh Christian games go for the next 2 weeks or so. Joe, do you have a score update from that EEK game?
Yeah, the last update I had was 35-21 in favor of Fargo Oak Grove over Ellendale Edgeley Column, but I just got word that it is now 36-35. Ellendale Edgeley Column has a 1-point lead. I'm not sure what time is left there, but I just know a guy there that's been helping me out with a little score update there.
Well, we're going to try and keep you updated on that front because that's really the only Class A team that we follow in our immediate listening area. But once again, lots of football going on. We'll have the scores updated by hopefully Saturday afternoon on KSJBAM.com. Click on that sports tab. Well, thank you to all of our sponsors to make this broadcast possible. And, of course, thanks to the one and only Steve Allen for putting up with us again on this Friday night. Steve, you're a good guy. You got to love working with us sometimes.
Quit lying.
Quit lying, he says. All right, so we're going to send it back to Steve Allen. And Joe, next week in Linton, it could be a battle for that number 2 seed next week.
Yeah, we should see a good game. Linton, Hazelton, Moffett, Braddock's been doing pretty decent, and this Napoleon-Gackle-Streeter team after tonight here, they got some offense that they can move that ball. So that should be a good game next week.
And there was no turnovers except for one for the Imperials. There was one fumble on like 4 fumbles last week for the Imperials, and this was on a sloppy night of all things. So, all right, so that will do it for us here in Napoleon on this rainy, soggy, and windy day. Next week in Linton, as we've been saying, online, KSJBAM.com. Thank you to Steve Allen for running the board tonight. Also, thank you to our sponsors once again to make this broadcast possible. I'm Kyle Dean.
And I'm Joe Jacobs.
And we'll see you guys next Friday nights here on KSJB and KSJBAM.com. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
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 Night.